How do you combat that disappointment, knowing that you guys still have more softball to play and can still extend your season?
Well, yeah, it is disappointing that we didn't make the regional, but I think that for the most part, our team just loves softball, and any opportunity that we have to play, we're going to take it, and we're going to take it for what it is, and we're going to enjoy it. And so I think that wherever we're at, we're going to go and give our best shot.
You guys had the automatic bid, so you guys are going somewhere. How different is it knowing you're going to be in a tournament, but not knowing where or who you're going to play, to finding that out at that moment?
I think it's not fun not knowing where you're going and having all these I guess unknowns about what the next week is, but it's kind of the same with the big tournament too. You don't know where you're going, you don't know if you're going to get in unless you win your tournament and stuff. And so I think every team kind of goes through the same thing. It's unexpected things happening, and so I think that our team does a really good job of coping with that.
Is that one of the hardest things to learn as a young team, is coping with uncertainty and getting things moving in the right direction?
Yeah, I think so, but our team, our upperclassmen do a really good job of just helping the underclassmen out, and so we've been through it, we know the drill, and so our team's pretty selfless in that way, that we just make sure everybody else is taken care of, and just to get the ball rolling.
How important is it for you guys to make a run here, kind of to springboard into what you guys want to do next season?
I think it's just all about building momentum, and that's what Coach G keeps preaching to us. Winning this thing would be really, really good for our team and help us feel really good going into next season, and also give us some assurance that yeah, we can do this too. We can hang with these teams and we can pull something out.
Ask Coach and Jessica this, but the whole process thing, I'm sure that kind of gets old, but is that something you saw play out against Oklahoma State, even in a loss, the way you guys fell behind and continued to chip away at that lead?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for sure. Our team, and me personally too, I'm all for process, but after it gets a little bit longer than I want it to, I'm oh, let's go. I want this to speed up. But I think for the most part, our team just does a really good job at complementing each other. So if somebody's not if somebody's struggling in a certain area, somebody else will make up for it. And that's kind of what we did in the Oklahoma State game, is we kind of had some struggles with our pitching a little bit earlier, and we were just okay, so we're going to fix it with our hitting, and we're just going to keep fighting as hard as we can and hopefully pull something out. In our base running too, we had great base running, and our defense kind of picked it up too behind them. So, yeah.
You sat out last year with an injury, so I guess you kind of got to watch. But where have you seen this team this year grow the most?
I think that our most growth kind of just came from where we chose to build our foundation. We spent a lot of time nurturing our theme this year, which is a story about Jericho, and kind of just talking about what's important to us and what we want to stand on as a group, and something that's secure, so when we do fall or we do stumble, we have our foundation to hold us up. So I think that that's probably the best thing that I've seen moving forward from last year and into this year, is just our team kind of thinking about the important things.